Well, I got into gaming when I was about 6, but my cousin gave me his Game Boy.
We used to play like Pong and Frogger and all that cool stuff.
Yeah, I couldn't play sports, but I could play Wii Sports.
When I first found games that I couldn't play at all, and I paid 60 quid for it, you think, oh, this is kind of terrible, and it's really frustrating.
There's been times where I've just bit the bullet because I've been super hyped for a game, and then the absolute letdown when you're like 5 or 10 minutes in. Sometimes you even know by the control scheme of the game.
But there has been a few games where I've played and people have said, oh, the accessibility is great, but then there's certain aspects in a game that one little aspect that completely stops me enjoying.
A lot of the barriers, a lot of the problems that I have with video games are to do with my brain. So remembering things, figuring out where I'm meant to be going, reaction times, all that kind of thing. But for Vivek and for Alan, their access needs might be completely different. Being disabled can be quite lonely. Sometimes we can get quite isolated. I wasn't really leaving the house very much. So I had this really awesome space that I could go every day and play games and have fun and chat to people and make friends.
Well, so for me, it's definitely kind of the social and also the educational aspect.
Through gaming, I've changed my mental health and my mental outlook on life. You can use your perspective to educate people, because a lot of people are just curious or a bit ignorant because they've never really seen or interacted with a disabled person.
Know your limits and know your self-worth. So know that there will always be these people in the world, and know that it's okay to take breaks, especially when you're making content. You don't have to put stuff out every single day. Know your limits in terms of, especially when you're disabled, pain is a big thing.
If someone's being really mean and their behavior needs to be reported, you can usually report them as well.
For me, no, I haven't experienced that, but I have seen comments about other people, like my friends that are streamers, and it's sad to hear that.
People would come into the chat sometimes and ask questions, and in my head I would be thinking, would you be asking this if I was non-disabled?
So sometimes when you don't have the right kind of communication built into the game, sometimes that can be quite frustrating, and I know that people sometimes get comments about that, so that can be quite annoying. I want games to be accessible for as many people as possible. I also really want to be represented in those games, and I feel like we're not quite there yet.
If there's a character that's blind or deaf, and seeing them, that makes me feel represented, even if it's not my condition. So I would like to see all range of characters with disabilities.
Quite often we're used as this dreary medical stereotype. Disability is so much more, so I would like to just see disabled people in games doing regular roles.